This is just so annoying sometimes because it's just, I'm trying something new and for some reason OBS just totally flipped all of the things on me. I'll wait till anybody comes and hopefully I'll get a little input on if this is even working. Oh. Is anybody watching at all? Having some difficulties with this? One of the difficulties is cat. That is so weird. No comments were coming up until I popped out the chat. What the fuck? YouTube needs to work on its shit. Now I'm seeing your comments. Okay. So I'm trying a second camera. Let's see. We can change the... Let's see if we can change it on the fly. Has that changed for you guys? I had some issues with the audio for some reason. I guess OBS doesn't really handle the changes in like audio amplification or something like that. Because, yeah, I don't know. So anyway, today we're going to be cleaning up some. We're going to be cleaning up some 1909 hardwood. So what view do you guys like better? The internal camera, or the integrated camera, or the USB one? I'm just going to set up a little bit while you guys are kind of coming. Actually, no. It's after this. You guys might be able to see a part of the workbench that I've built. And so some of the 1909 hardwood is going to go on top of the workbench. Like that. It's a 16-foot long, or like a 5-meter workbench. Now I had a hammer somewhere. I'm going to spend some time to read your comments. I do not like how now it's different, because before I could look like I was kind of reading the comments when I was kind of looking towards you guys, but now I'm looking away, so it's a bit of a pain. Thank you very much for the $2. T. Komoski. Janet Plessu said, half the country is in polar vortex and you're in a t-shirt. That's great. Well, we had some pretty cold weather too, but then some really hot weather from Texas came up. And so we have a couple days of nice warm weather. I spent some of that time sealing up the roof of the workshop, so that's good. I had like 3 hammers somewhere. Holy shit. Let's spend some time talking about hammers, because I keep forgetting I'm not using that. You know what? No, I'm just going to change the cameras. Because there we go. Much easier to talk. So, oh, here's an idea. What if I switch to that camera when I'm in the more of a working mode, and then I switch to this when I'm answering comments? That might be a good idea. Or when I'm talking directly to you. So I'm not a fan of these older hammers that have more of a flat section, because they're really difficult to get the nails out, and they don't add much of a lever, because your point of moving from, whatever the fucking word is, comes from here, when it should be coming from here, and it gets really annoying. So you might as well just be pulling up the nail with your hand. Franz Uschberg. Greetings from Switzerland. Well, hello. Stephen Andrews says, I think it's officially workshop the first time you lose a tool in it. I've lost quite a few tools in here, so yes, it's definitely a workshop. Fulcrum, you're right, it is. Fantastic Calamity said, you should do more of these live streams. They seem to be good for channel building. Well, I also get very pissed. Okay, I get very, very pissed because like today I thought I was going to build a nice 100-foot Ethernet cable. And so I got an Ethernet cable that I was just kind of spooled up and I put ends on it. It's wasted like 10 minutes putting it in each one. Well, then like it was broken, so I had to redo it. And then it just didn't work. And I realized it probably had a bunch of broken wires in it, so it's not even a good Ethernet cable. And then the issue with like the audio, like I could not get the audio to change. And I realized that when you're using OBS, usually it's a good idea just to close it out and open it back up whenever you're messing with the audio, because for some reason it just doesn't work very well. Okay, I'm gonna find that darn hammer. Or, unless you guys want to have a better picture of the new Workbench, which is going to be an upcoming video, I'll switch to the other camera and unmount it from the tripod, like so. See how well you can see that. So that is the hanging workbench. Oh, come on, don't focus out on me. It's hanging from the roof, which gives it a chance to have 2 big shelves. And then there's no legs underneath. So if I want to, I can put like 16-footers underneath this workbench, and I won't have to like get it behind legs or anything. So I think this is probably the best idea for a workbench. And of course it extends over to here. I'm just gonna, not that stuff. This is a hickory that I got. Really nice stuff. But this 1909 flooring, that will be the surface of the workbench. Go back to this. Now, to clarify, I most likely messed up the stream a little bit. So if you didn't get any notification, it might be because I accidentally started it when it was private, and then I realized and I made it public. And so I guess maybe it would only send out a notification if it's public and then you start it. I'm not quite sure. Ninja Fire, did you have to get any permits to build the structure? No, because I live in a very small town. I asked the mayor himself, and he was just like, just build it. No one's going to care. We don't even have permits. But I was talking to the county courthouse and telling them just for tax reasons, and evidently it's such a non-deal that the lady was like, I'll fill it out for you because there's no power or anything out here. And it's going to be solar powered, so as long as it's not connected to the grid, it's going to be so much easier. And it's not going to have plumbing or any of that. So they actually took care of all the paperwork for me, and I got a permit in the mail for free. So that's kind of cool. I mean, I guess for stuff like this, because this is basically a barn, and the government doesn't exactly care about barns that much. Franz Oschberg. I lived in Switzerland when I was a kid. So yes, I've been to Switzerland for a very short time. I loved it. Hey, my playhouse. Morton Hort from my playhouse has been helping me because I've been trying to get back into having a website, and I've been playing around with HTML, and he's been helping me with my stupidity because I have a lot of problems of just, I'll run into a problem and I just won't understand it. And it just started pulling my hair out trying to figure out, like, why is the domain not linking up to the server? I don't get it. Fantastic Calamity, you were going to build a DIY Powerwall? Yes, kind of. So I'm going to use a Nissan Leaf cells. And I might use them for something else, but I'm going to hopefully make these like cartridges that I can pop in. And each one will be about 1,500 watt hours of capacity. Oh, and unfortunately, since the weather's been so up and down, the ground hasn't frozen enough to really give a chance to get some bricks. So unfortunately, it looks like the dirt floor is going to stay for a while, at least for a couple more months. But really good news, the dirt and the clay in the ground is really drying out. So it looks like it won't be too much of a problem. In Vetigun, what's your opinion of the new Android Pie update? I'm not sure. I don't use Android. The only device I have that uses Android, aside from a phone that a friend gave me for my thermal camera, is my old Motorola Zoom. And I think that's still using Android 3.0, so I don't know. I'm going to find that darn hammer now. Well, shoot. The only other place it could be is under that. You know, I need to move these anyway, so I'm just going to toss them underneath the other. I don't know. Right there. Oh. There we go. This one has a lot of nice curve to it, so the fulcrum stays pretty close to where the nail is. Wes Schoenhofer asks, do I still have a 3D printer? Yes, I do. I have my Flash Forge Creator Pro. Just look at that. Just look at that. So beautiful. So beautiful. I'm starting to think that the other camera does have better color quality, so let's see if I can get that in here. That focusing is going to drive me insane. Mew, good job on getting some estradiol. That's good. I already wasted like 10 minutes trying to do the autofocus, and it just, anytime I try to do it, it just slammed to like as close as possible. So it's like, I've had enough with technology today. The search continues. Oh. Got a better idea. Darn focus. Webcams aren't made very well. I gotta say, they are not made very well. Commander A and B, it's not a matter of switching it off. It doesn't play too well with OBS, it seems. My Playhouse, looks like Morton got a Mac Mini. Those things are actually pretty fun. It's funny, they're mostly made for internal use because pretty much nobody buys them. But Mac Minis are used a lot internally because they're super easy to store and they're great for programming. Like as long as you're not doing like 3D graphics or something like that, you can do a lot on a Mac Mini. Cool, are you going to make the same there like you did in your room? I'm not sure what you're talking about, so if you could please clarify, that'd be great. Nibbler said, did you know you can reset some PCs by shorting USB with the headphone jack? You should not do that because you're basically grounding out the 5 volts. You can also reset a PC by setting off an atomic bomb next to it, but that's not going to be a good idea. What time is it? 14:11. 2:11, sorry. Forgot I was using that camera. Forgot. I might just switch back because otherwise it's going to drive me crazy. Just I'm going to not know which camera I'm using. Rafael Hernandez asked if there's any new upgrades to the workshop. Well, if you go back in the live stream, you'll see when I was showing the workbench that I'm building with attached shelves. So I'm going to take a bunch of these boards. Actually, I guess this is a workbench here. I'm just going to put a bunch of boards down, and then I'll take my circular saw and cut them on the edge to make them straight. Coca Q, what ThinkPad should I buy for eternal use? ThinkPad X270 or 260. I think 270 though. Thank you very much, Ryan Gaspard. Vest Schoenhofer asked if I'm going to be doing any more 3D printing projects. Yes, I am. And also, well, I'm going to be building a metal 3D printer to 3D print rocket parts. I've realized that honestly, it'd be better just to go ahead and build a MIG welder 3D printer than to try to do like gloss wax casting or whatever with a 3D printer. The autofocus on my Canon G7X is okay, but it's still pretty shit. For every nail you remove from the next board you have after reading this message, I'll give you 7 cents. Let me go get my 16-footer. Oh, no. Let's see, that's... $60 nails. I think I can do better. I think I can do better. Motherfucking chair. Oh no. Looks like that's it. This one. If I understood that correctly, that is. Okay, let me just make sure. Okay, never mind, you win. Okay. Thank you very much, in bed again. It's weird that the super chats are different colors. Tom Guest asked what insulation I'm going to be using for my workshop, and back there you can see some bags that has blown cellulose insulation from the 1980s that came from the same building that the 1909 hardwood came from, and I'm going to reuse that for insulation. And I got about 500 pounds of that insulation, so that's more than enough. And I tried burning it. It did not burn. So it looks like whatever chemicals they treated it with are still active and they're not going to burn. So that's good. Rafael Hernandez asked, in the future, are you planning on making more videos on restoring other old stuff? Yes, of course I am. I'm looking for a tractor, actually, because I think it'd be kind of cool to rebuild a tractor, like a 1910s or even a steam-powered one. That'd be awesome, but I don't know if I can afford that. Commander AMB complimented the workshop, saying it's very impressive and looks really well built. Well, thank you very much. I clamped my hammer underneath the board. What an idiot. God damn it. That is a good position. Leave it there. Let's just leave it there. It's good enough for me. There we go. Keep losing my shit. Rafael Hernandez asked if the old insulation is bad for my health. Not much worse than new insulation, but it's cellulose, so it's made out of old newspapers, so that's not too bad. Tinfoil hat, what state are you in? Illinois, Southern Illinois. $1,500, as if I've lost my virginity. I am almost 4 years away from becoming a wizard. Oh, sorry. Rafael Hernandez asked if I think a gas heater or electric heater is better. Well, it depends on what you gauge as better. So, the wood stove seems to be pretty good. But there's only so much wood I'll have in the forest behind me. As for, honestly, I have to go with electric, because with electric you can store up the energy in a big battery pack and then use it. You don't have to go out and buy petrol from someone, or kerosene, or whatever it is, paraffin. Tom Guest, I was wondering if are you going to still do any more videos on searching for old bottles and bricks? Yep, but that's a seasonal thing, because right now it's freaking cold. So probably like whenever spring hits, I can do that more. But here lately it's been so freaking cold. And to be honest, my workshop project has really overshadowed every other thing, so I really need to get back into other projects. But I figured there's no sense in focusing on other projects if it's going to delay my workshop, because everything will get easier once I have the workshop. Even if it's just editing videos in the loft. I'm going to have a desk with a computer and actually probably edit videos faster. Here's one nice thing about a brick floor. You can rip it up anytime you want. Magnavox Man asked if I wanted a big ass farm tractor or maybe a 20-horse lawn tractor. I want a huge farm tractor, duh. Oh, $2. Oh, nice. Thank you very much. John drinks water. Oh, there's a lot of comics for me to catch up on them. David Fields, what software do you recommend for 3D printer development, i.e. Blender? Blender. Rafael Hernandez asked if I'm going to be painting the workshop. Yeah, I think I'll probably just go with red, at least for the first time. And Betagun asks what my favorite weight of printer paper is. I don't use printer paper. Yeah, switch it up a little bit. This is a nicer camera angle. I have a hole puncher somewhere, but I can't find it. There we go. It's going. Oh, that's the shitty hammer. That's the one I like. Well, I'm using a ThinkPad X260. Oh, it's working. So I took the top of a nail, pounded it, and then it made a, I took the head of the nail, pounded it, and it made almost like a cup. Put that on the bottom side of the nail and it pushes through. But now it'll be stuck, so we'll see. Never mind. That worked perfectly. So, here we'll get up close. So I built that pretty much. Oh, come on. So there's a little cup piece, and it's wider still. So what that means is it automatically hooked onto the point of the nail, but whenever I hit it through, it had made the hole bigger for the bigger part of the nail, and so when I popped it through, the nail just fell out. So this is actually pretty good. I'll have to remember that. I'll have to keep that nail out. Yes. I think I can do it without that. That's a long nail. I believe that's it for this board. I guess I must be blind. Oh, never mind. I saw that piece of wood sticking out and I thought that was a nail. It definitely do give a good splinters, that's for sure. Go outside and wash my hands. Be right back. catch up on your comments. The Mr. P show said he likes how I recycle old timber and it's good for the environment. I agree. I think that if you don't recycle materials that are out for free, then maybe you should rethink your ethical stance on things. I lose faith in local people, at least. I know it's common to say you lose faith in humanity, but in this instance, I definitely do look down upon local people because there's so many old building materials that just get thrown away, and they're so wasteful. And the fact that there aren't just like hundreds of people like picking over every little trash bin that has piles of wood in it, it's just saddening, and it puts things into perspective, how much better we can be. Steve 64464, yes, I did technically throw the chair. I tossed it aside because it was in the way. Oh, and Vedigan asked what I'm going to use for do with the nails, and I'm actually going to use the nails for like artwork and things. I want to make a suit of armor of a bunch of nails welded together. Like imagine a suit of metal armor where it's all spiky. That'd be so cool. And the helmet is like a grid, a mesh of nails. That'd be awesome in my opinion, and I have been saving every single nail that I take out from lumber because I want to have them all nice and crookedy too, or whatever. Because, like, if you buy brand new nails, they're gonna look too uniform. But if they're all messed up, it'll add something to it. Maybe use like a car tire tread too. That'd be kind of cool to add to that. Adam Wing asked if I'm going to be doing a vapor barrier and insulation. Well, definitely insulation, but I've realized that a vapor barrier might not be a good idea. I don't want to trap moisture against the metal of the outside. Symbol. So this is Symbol. She's like, oh, a good 12 or 13 years old now. Sorry, bitch. You notice how she isn't moving, though. All right. She'll just sit on your lap and growl at you, but then she'll want to still sit on your lap. 13-year-old in human years, in Earth years. So the cat's pretty old. I think we got her in 2005, something like that. Let's do some more denailing. Do you guys want this camera view or the other camera view? I'll let you decide. Oh. Those pinholes. I sealed up a lot of the pinholes in the roof, though. All right. We got all this. Oh. Perfect. Perfect. Oh, speaking of secrets, I'm not sure what you're talking about, but secrets. I've been thinking about modifying the light switches for the workshop so there'll be water valves. So you have to turn on the water and it'll be like a dimmer switch. I think it would be pretty funny. And then if I ever make I might have like a rainwater system that just collects rainwater, just because I might have a sink in here just for cleaning parts. Muzz Puzz said, not floor, try putting can, save good nails. You're not paying attention, are you? I'm just going to focus on the longer sections for now. Ooh. Got a screw in this one. I'll find a screwdriver later. Oh! Forgot there's these little like add-on pieces on the side of the sawhorse. Oh, that's big. Getting this all figured out up there. You know what? Might be better to stack them up here. Oh, never mind. I need to build another workshop just for the wood. See you, Mose. I'm going to switch cameras. That way I can get a more complete view without having to crouch down or sit down. Oh, where's he at? Where are you at? That's not any better. Fuck. A little better. Whatever, fuck it. Are you going to be to the Maker Faire in Marin this year? San Mateo, okay. Yes, I'm going to go this year. The Mr. Jet Doc 35. Are you going to watch the Super Bowl? No. Why would I watch sports? Well, why would I watch American sports? The Lamb. Hi, Renault. I think it's the first time I've caught you on a stream. Hope you're doing well. Nope. I remember. I thought you caught me when we were doing the stream in the driveway. Just FYI. Well, I do some sports stuff. I like lumber sport. Like whenever like the people are like they're like cutting wood. That's really cool. Hockey's okay, but I have a hard time getting into it. Although the lumber sport stuff's kind of cool. But I like playing. I like bowling. That's fun. I don't like watching it though. I really want to get into ice skating. I was going to order a pair of ice skates, but we don't really have. Oh, man. We don't really have good places to ice skate around here. Oh. Is trampolining a sport? Weird. When I was a kid, I took tumbling classes, and we did a lot of fun stuff on trampolines, like flips and stuff. I never thought about that as a sport. Sounds like my neighbors might be having a bit of a fight over there. I'm not sure, but they're being really loud. They're good neighbors, though. Microphone's over here, by the way, so that's why I'm leaning it over there. Then again, it's weird. People around here, sometimes even if they're not angry, they'll still be really loud, like almost yelling. I never got that. Let's see if a magnet on the back of my hammer will help. A little sticky piece on the back of it. I'm just going to take that off so it sticks better. Because I keep dropping the nails when I could just have them get picked up on the back of the hammer. And maybe even have a couple of them stuck on there at a time. See how that works. I just have it on the back there. Oh, getting lucky. A lot of these are already done. Oh, I'm not so lucky. This is too many too many nails, and I'm not even gonna bother with that one right now. Oops. Another one. The way I see it, if there's gonna be any boards that are really gonna like mess up my rhythm, then I might just not do them. I'll just do them later, like whenever I'm bored or something. Big bonfire. Just for that, I'm going to mispronounce your name. Well, Schoenhofer. Schoenhofer. There we go. Got you, Schoenhofer. Wait, what am I doing that for? St. Lamo, hello. Well, I lost a nail, but who cares? Yeah, this little nail magnet's not working too well. Just going to remove that. I'll put it on my glove. Oh, I'm getting lucky. lot of the pile done. Let's get back to now my height. I noticed that some boards, I just have a bunch of nails in them, so I guess sometimes whenever they're squeaky, people just put a bunch of nails in them thinking that they'll keep them down. It might make it squeakier though. A lot of junk on there. I'm gonna look up the comments and catch up. Feel pretty good about that pile. Nice, didn't it? Oh man, there's a lot of comments. Oh shit, there's a lot of comments. "1806 stone house, redoing an old house and trying to use all salvage stuff." That I might have seen your videos. Was that the one where they... Did you have a video where there was like just a bunch of junk in the old garden and you try to dig down? I see. Maybe it's a different video series I'm thinking of. I'm gonna look it up. No, it looks like it's different. Oh, what was it? I cannot find what it was. There's some video where someone had like a house from like the 1720s or something like that, and they just... It was so cool to see them restore it because they had like 200 years of just stuff, and the garden had slowly gotten deeper and deeper with stuff. The lamb, when we were talking about the neighbors being loud, they said Italians are similar. They shout talk. Yeah, my family does that. And I'm not. They aren't that Italian. They're like from the Austrian border. Now it's Italy, but back in like 1905 or whatever, there was technically Austria. So like, I don't know. Ragtime Freak 86 asked if I'm going to be installing a radio in the workshop eventually. Well, not necessarily to listen to for entertainment, but more like I plan to have a nice antenna array up on the top and maybe even try to do some like radio astronomy. That'd be kind of cool. But, oh, I'm also thinking about turning the back half into like a big platform to have a huge telescope. That'd be cool. But we'll see about that. And I'm going to try to design the solar panels around that to give myself some room so I can have something on the top. So the solar panels will be a little bit closer to the middle of the roof. The Lamb asks, what are my intentions for the surplus of D-nail wood? You have way more than needed for a workbench. Well, the wood is going to be the walling for the entire workshop. And then hopefully I'll have even some left over, which I can use for, I don't know, crates. Maybe I'll have enough left over I can even use it as flooring for the roof of the attic of our house, because that doesn't have any flooring. It's just an empty attic. Adam Wing said he had to pay $14,000 to build a shop. And the permits and environmental impact study alone was $14,000 in California. You're right. I am lucky to live in a no permit zone. Yeah, like in California, they are just insane with regulations and stuff. It's why all the companies are leaving. Like honestly, like that's why Silicon Valley's kind of dying. No offense. Dustin Tashva asked if what the temperature here is. It's almost 60 degrees. It's amazing. But that means a big storm's coming because basically you have cold air coming from Canada and then warm air coming from Texas. And where those mix kind of moves back and forth. Right now, the polar vortex has come down, so we're getting a lot of cold air from the north. Well, now, all of a sudden, it's switched where now the hot air from the south is pushing up a lot. So we're getting a lot of hot air from like Texas and Arizona and all that. And so we're probably going to have some really big storms because when that hot and cold air mix, where they mix, that's where tornadoes happen and big storms. So whenever the polar vortex comes back down and we get really cold, we'll have a pretty big storm. Will Cranberry asks, what is my favorite retro computer from the 80s or 90s? Well, there was a Swiss computer called the Smacky, and it was so weird. And it had a Depraz mouse. They weren't with the original Logitech mouse. It's like this weird half dome, and had with 3 buttons on it. It's so weird. I really like the IBM PC. I really do. The Lisa is okay, but it's a bit too locked down with its copyright protection and stuff. The later Apple II line was really nice. I will admit, it was really nice. Then they had to ruin it with the Macintosh, but sadly, the way Microsoft is going, it looks like Macintosh might be the way I go eventually. I'll like have a computer for Windows XP and a computer for Windows 7, and then any newer software I'll have to get a Mac for. Because I am not a fan of the way that Microsoft is going. And I don't know if I really like Linux at this point. Oh, about the wooden boat. I plan to make a dugout canoe. So I'm going to have a dugout canoe, and I'm going to use the method where you start with a smaller tree trunk, and then you You carve it out as much as you can, then you use heat and steam and stuff, and you press it out and you make it wider. And I'll experiment with that and see what works. But I'm going to keep a good eye out for a nice big log. And yeah, kind of just depends on when I find the wood for that. But I think a dugout canoe would be really fun. Like, what was it, Northmen? They have a really good video of it on YouTube. You know, they do such a good job. Townsend's has a video about them making a dugout canoe, but the Townsend's dugout canoe, it's just like a solid lump, and they have to start with a very big tree. And I'm not a big fan of that because it's not a very, I don't think I would be able to move that design. I like the idea of starting with a smaller tree, which is easier to get, and then you make it to where you couldn't stand in it, and then you just stretch it out, like unraveling a potato chip almost, and then you can actually do more with the younger tree instead of having to cut down like a 200-year-old oak tree. Sebastian Monette asked, "Hey Renoa, what's the oldest calculator you own?" Just asking. Well, I do have technically a little like a thing where you have to do some of the work, but it's from like 1968 or something like that. For the oldest digital calculators I own are like 1972, 1973, something like that. Ah, there we go. Rafael Hernandez, do you like cars? Not really, no. I think that they definitely have a use, but they're overused by far. I think Europe and Japan have a lot more reasonable usage of automobiles, where, like here, you have to have multiples of automobiles, and that's just too much. But I have been thinking about buying my mom, like, buying her a Tesla or a Nissan Leaf. Like, if I can save up enough money, that might be good, because she has to stress about reliability a lot. And either a Nissan Leaf or a Tesla or something like that, it'd probably last a long time. It'd be expensive, but I could save up for that, I think. It'd take me like a decade, maybe, and get one used. Adam Wing asked if I still have the city car. Yeah, I still have the city car. And I realized that some of the problems with the city car was that I was trying to fix the crappy old wiring. And honestly, maybe it would be okay to get the city car and just rip everything out. Rip all the electrical out and just start fresh. And then I wouldn't have as many problems. The charger wouldn't burn up because I'd have a brand new charger and all that. And I probably have enough spare parts to do it. I don't know. It's an idea. Or I could build a giant rocket and launch the city car into outer space like Elon Musk did with his Tesla Roadster. That'd be funny. That'd be a big fireball. But if I could do it, that'd be pretty funny. Richard Tech and Moore asks if I'm going to be doing a video on my JVC KY 1900. I hope to, but it's just one of those things that's kind of like, it almost became more of a personal thing I like to have. you know, because sometimes I'll buy something that's like, oh, that's pretty cool, and I don't really know for sure if I have anything good to do with it. And I really hope that whenever I get either, well, my plan is to, when I get this all kitted out or whatever, I'll get everything, or not kitted out, set up where I can start importing bunches of tools and put them in storage and the shelves and stuff. And then I can empty out the basement. We can redo the concrete. We can rip out that old oil, heat oil tank, and we can actually have like a nice lab down there, and maybe even have room for a underground LED garden, so I can grow like kohlrabi all year round or something like that. I don't know. That'd be kind of cool. Magnavox Man asked if there's any thought of joining the boards using scarf joints, biscuits, pins, etc. to get those longer pieces you wanted. Biscuits are kind of out of the question unless I find a biscuit cutter, which I was actually looking that up recently, and I never even knew like a biscuit router thing even existed. But for the most part, what I think I'm going to do is when the two boards meet, I'm just going to have another small board behind it, like a small square, and so it'll be actually mounted to the board underneath, and then I'll be mounting to one board and the two boards, and so it'll actually be linking like three boards together, and hopefully that'll keep the wall pretty sturdy. And I'll have just a couple like a screw going through each one. Pausa Ray asked if I ever thought about doing some gaming episodes. Well, I have an entire gaming channel just about gaming, so you can go watch that. Although I don't upload to it very much. I hope to upload to it more, because it'd be kind of fun. Fantastic Calamity. Yeah, do you have to ask if I game? Seriously, have you seen my bedroom? My bedroom is infested with my gaming collection. I have like Commodore 64, ColecoVision, Atari, everything. Not really too many Xbox stuff though, because Xbox is kind of shit. No offense, but I like Nintendo. Retro Technology asks if about the restoration of the pinball machines. Not so much yet. Those are just kind of sitting. That'll be one of those projects when I'm bored and I just want to try something just to get away from other projects. That's when I mess with the pinball stuff. So that's going to be a very slow project. Sebastian Monat suggests that I was talking about a slide ruler. No, actually, it's this weird little calculator thing where you move one gear and the other gear ticks over, and you can do like all this kind of stuff. We have to like actuate it by hand. Motor Technology asked if I ever heard about the Chrysler turbine car. Yeah, actually they have like Jay Leno's garage actually has some videos about that, and I've seen some documentaries. It's a terrible idea. Electric is far better. Fantastic Calamity, if you want to see my bedroom, check out my second channel, Renault Lanehart. I have or look up the Personal Bits series that covers like my gender transition and all that kind of stuff. But most of those are down my bedroom, and you can actually see my well, at least a small sliver of the collection. Richard Deck and Moore said it'd be cool to line the floor of the workshop with bricks. That's the plan. Tip Tap. Who is Steve 64464? Steve 64464 is my friend from the UK, and we happen to chat a lot behind the scenes. The Ask Mama channel asks if I'm a woman of faith. I would consider myself an atheist. However, the most interesting and most credible religion would have to be Shinto. All the other ones just seem like bullshit, but Shinto, that's a religion that seems like it might be like something kind of like Buddhism, maybe. I don't know, but I'm not a huge fan of Buddhism, though. I still need to read up a lot more. And finally, the last paragraph, or last window of comments. Sebastian Monette asks why I dislike the Xbox. Well, because it's mostly American games, and American games are kind of garbage, except for Halo. Halo did have a few fun games, but it's not fun to play alone. It's only fun to play with others. So, again, it's not that great. Most of the good games come from Japan. Magnavox Man, Ren, is Leonhardt your real name? No. Renoa is my real name. Leonhardt is just my internet name. I actually do not have any television. I have controllers, I have consoles, I have all this I have cartridges, I have all this stuff for the Intellivision, but I do not have an Intellivision game console yet. Because, well, it's so easy to spend a bunch of money in gaming. And what I've decided is, for the vast majority of the things that I want, I'm going to wait until I find it at a really good deal, at a yard sale, or free. And it's actually worked out pretty well. I've saved a lot of money because I'll just wait for 5 years and oh, there's that game I've been wanting for 5 years, and I get it for free most of the time. Oh, man. Stereo Patterns. Thoughts on the new SpaceX Raptor engine. Okay. This new SpaceX Raptor engine has been modified to be a cross between the... well, it has a nozzle that is designed to be good in space and on the ground, so it's kind of not the best at either. But I think that I really like the direction that they're going. I would really like to have a better image of the plumbing of it, but for the most part, I think it's a pretty good design. And if I'm not mistaken, it's not just a gas cycle engine, they have it's reusing the exhaust from the gas generator into the combustion chamber, if I'm not mistaken. I think the change to methane, like methalox propellants, is a very good idea, because with kerosene you have a lot of problems of coking, if that's the right term. Like the 1980s? No. And also, methane is really easy to get from landfills. And we have a lot of methane. But kerosene, you have to actually you have to go out of your way to get kerosene. Methane, though, we have more than we need, and we need to find a use for it. So the methane, whatever it's called, is a better propellant. I've actually been thinking about, if I ever get really far with my rocketry projects, which the whole reason I'm building this workshop is kind of so I can get serious with the next steps of my projects, whether it be wind turbines or rocketry. I'm going to really be invest a lot of time and even money into something. And if I get serious about that and I get to the point where I want to switch to methalox propellants, Methanox? Methane oxide methanox? I'm saying an L and that one should be an N. Methanox. There we go. And I might talk to the local landfill and see if I can actually get like a nice sample of methane from them. My playout said that on his channel, everyone is a god or a system administrator. Yeah, that counts as a god. Bet again, do I still accept mail? Yeah, to the P.O. Box, definitely. It's been piling up, and I plan to have a big inbox video whenever I get this kind of done. Stereo patterns. Raptor is full flow, stage combustion. Oh, interesting. Renault Super Genius. What are the thoughts? Right, Fantastic Calamity said, what are your thoughts on pulse detonation engines? I think pulse detonation engines are a horrible idea. Like, might as well have a steam-powered thing. Mads said, seems like I have more heat in here. Well, it's just a nice break in the weather. We have some really nice warm weather, and so I'm trying to spend this time to get as much like done as possible, and I'm pretty happy with this. I got the workbench kind of mostly done. Only thing left to do is to get the boards, and I already have more than enough boards to cover it now. Jim G, did you finally manage to restore the pinball? No. I do not have a pinball machine. I have various parts left over from a destroyed pinball machine, but yeah. I'm going to do another batch of wood, and you guys can comment some more, and I'll catch up, if that's okay with you guys. Or actually, you know what? I'm going to run in, get some more water and stuff like that, blow my nose, and I can chat in the comments, because I'll have Wi-Fi. Be right back. Bacon! Like that? Is that what you wanted? In bed again? My cat was like breaking down the door like, let me in, there's a truck outside. Oh. It's like an infinite scroll. Oh my God. There's a lot of comments. Okay. We're caught up. That would be funny to turn the building. You missed my old saw? Fine. Let me get my old damn saw. You whiny little bitch. Here's the saw. Are you happy now? I didn't throw it away. Don't worry. I like this saw though. I don't know what I'm doing. Oh. I do like how this saw, it has like that Japanese handle. It feels like you're holding a katana, like. I get back to work. It's like Jenga. I'll switch the camera again just to mix it up. Dylan Reichling said he just don't hear you say, well, you whiny little bitch. We have a train approaching with a different horn. I'll shut up when it... No. Then what was that horn sound? I heard some weird horn that sounded like a train horn, but then the train horn sounded normal. My playhouse. The trains have to be noisy because people keep driving over the tracks in front of the trains, and then they keep suing the train companies, saying that they didn't see the train, but they have to go between the cross arms. It's retarded, and so it's it's a law that they have to do 3 horn honks at every single crossing. You know what? I bet I should probably make a machine that will like toss a nail into a bucket and then record every single time it goes in. Because every so often a nail will like bounce back and forth like 6 times. Maybe go to capture that on a video. Totally missed that one. Oh, yeah, there's an apple too. Sorry. Whoops. That was the nail. Damn it. That was that nail that I especially. Oh, no. Here it is. Stuck in there. Oh, oh. Like on my glove. This is part of an electronics haul that I got recently that Only paid $60, like paid $5 for this pretty much. But I'll have a whole other video just about that when I get the workshop kind of done. Oh, I totally ignored all the comments from the flare video because honestly, like I was just playing around. But people took it really the wrong way. Like I had people commenting like, yeah, well, whenever people are beating down your door with a shotgun, you're not going to have much of a recourse now, are you? With a stupid flare gun. And it's like, whoa. Why does everything have to be about guns? Why do they think that every fight's going to be a gunfight? I don't know. Most fights would just be a drunk or high neighbor trying to get in to steal copper or something like that. But then they'd really be angry at me or something. I don't know. And I just think it's funny how it doesn't seem very realistic to think that every fight's going to be a gunfight. But I got a lot of views from that flare gun video, and can't wait to see how much money I made. So, whatever. I don't care. I should probably start ignoring comments for the most part, though. Like, it's probably a better idea, because a lot of them are just so stupid. Like, no offense, but a lot of people on YouTube, a lot of you guys are fucking morons. Maybe not you guys, because you're, like, live, watching live, but there's a lot of idiots on there, including me. I'm not going to sell my Apple II. Shut up. I'm definitely stirring up the junk, that's for sure. Sebastian Monette said, the worst commenters are anti-vaxxers. Yes. Well, no, the worst commenters are the people that are like, quoting scripture like, you're going to go to hell if you don't repent. It's like, who are you talking to? Seriously. The lamb said, or asked if I want to sell some of the wood. I'm actually thinking about, I'm starting to get connections now where a friend of mine just called me up like, hey, we have a pile of old, like almost brand new, but extra roofing metal. And so we got a bunch of roofing metal, and I gave it to my dad because my dad could use that one better. But I'm thinking about, since I have the connections and I'm getting a reputation for being the person that'll take away old building materials and reuse them, I'm tempted to just start my own like little surplus lumberyard shop. It's an idea, and bricks and all that kind of stuff. But I'll only do that if I have another workshop. This workshop will definitely be for building things. Yeah. Patricia Cam asked me when we're doing game programming. I have an entire channel just about my 3D experiments, which is Renault in 3D, which is all old videos, but that's what I originally started with. So I started with 2D game development around 2006 or 2005, and I made a couple games. And then I made the switch over to 3D around 2007. Yeah, 2007, because that's whenever Big Buck Bunny and Blender was coming out, and I started playing around with Blender. And I've spent a few years messing around with game development, and I've made a bunch of game demos, but it's nothing reasonable to show. Like I made one game. It's like a knockoff of Half-Life, and it's just not very good. There's no real good direction. And then that ended up leading into 3D printing, which is actually pretty good because when I got my job at Apple, I wasn't expecting that knowledge to really pay off, but it actually transferred so well to 3D printing that it was totally worth it. I'm going to make sure I close the back door of the house. Just a second. We're having problems with stray cats. Have realized they can get in through cat doors, and so I just want to make sure the neighbor's stray cat wouldn't get in our house. That'd be a pain in the butt. When I say knockoff Half-Life game, I mean first-person shooter with the same controls and about the same quality of like Half-Life 2. Well, in some areas, not that good. Hey, I'm getting lucky. Lucky again. Oh, I also got this. It's an old 1997 LED sign. Runs on a floppy disk. It's a JVF Incorporated model 2010-A, if you want to look it up. Nice little score, I think. I'm going to have this up in the workshop. Going to have some fun with that. It runs on an Intel 486. Or 286. 486, yeah. Is this your God? You want the chair? You got the chair. Right there. Closer to the camera. You're going to be closer to the chair now. Come on. I also picked up some terminals. Old 1980s terminals. Some IBM ones. Lisa D said that I should plane this. Honestly, the underside looks fine. So I'm just going to use the underside and have the crappy side on the inside of the walls or whatever. So it'd be good. No sense in planing if one side's already still fine. Oh my God, I just realized that sign could run Duke Nukem or whatever. Or at least like Wolfenstein. That's cool. As long as we run CGA, because I believe the output is CGA or something. I might hear a train coming. I'm not sure. this pile is going to probably be like half as big once you get all the nails out. Because if you look through it like axially or whatever, it's mostly just air being held up by the nails. Now that's a bit worrying. Some of these are still wet, so they've been wet for several weeks. Looks like they're not drying too well. That's a shame. Be right back. Gonna get some more water. Give it a sandwich. We'll catch up on the comments now. Chip's Challenge was a great game. Dylan Reichling asked if these came from the Red Rooster. No, these did not come from the Red Rooster. Came from another building that was similar age. The tutorial gamer asked what insulation I'm going to use, and that's going to be the bone cellulose insulation that I got out of these. Actually, I should be over here. These bags over here. So I got plenty of insulation for that. Should be going to give me an insulation value of like R15 or so for the walls, so that's pretty good. Patricia Camp asked if I'm a fan of the iPhone, and I'm definitely a fan of the iPhone. The iPhone 5C was pretty good, and I have the SE now, and it's pretty good too. It is overpriced, the newer stuff, but I don't want any of the newer stuff. Vish Schoenhofer asked if I believe in New Year's resolutions. Do I have any? No, I do not believe in New Year's resolutions because a year is not defined. Oh, well, a year is kind of nonsensical in many ways. It's good for knowing the seasons, but if you're going to do something, don't wait for the year to do it. Do it now, or do it never. John comments, asked if a hot dog is a sandwich. If you eat the hot dog with 2 pieces of bread, it is a sandwich. Like, we have some very big hot dogs that you have to have 2 pieces of bread around. It's like basically a big sausage. And that would be a sandwich. But with only a single piece of bread, no, I would not call that a sandwich. Oh, the sandwich was just ham or beef or whatever. I'm not sure. Just a packet of meat. I don't put things on my sandwich. That's disgusting. Moguls asked if it's still the same phone I had when I worked at Apple. The last couple months of me working at Apple, I got an SE, and I promptly broke it on accident. I cracked the metal case, and the screen kind of stayed straight. Don't ask. And so then I went back to my 5C, and here recently the price has gone down. I got my own, and it's nice. It's good enough to stream from. That's why I got it, so I can actually do a live stream from this. Subway sandwich is one big piece of bread. I don't find that to be the case because I find they're cut into 2. I don't know. I don't know if it's the same hammer. It's probably not. Picked this wool sweater up at the flea market, and I think it's pretty good. I like it. It's really nice and warm. It's getting sunset now, so although I hate how like it's shorter than my shirt, so I have to tuck my shirt in. Oh, I heard a train. Probably have a train in about 10 minutes. Whoops. I don't know how I feel about like wool though, because it's a bit scratchy, but oh well. See you, lamb. Catch you later too. I'll probably be quitting the stream in a couple hours anyway. How many nails I've broken? 2 today. In bed again. At the end of the video, when it's night, you should make a fire and sit next to it with us. Yeah, why not? Android Gamer, what's your plans after the shed is built? To build a new company. Whether it be the 2 things that I'm eyeing are wind turbines or rocket engines. Selling reinforced rocket engines, inexpensive ones, to universities for rocketry clubs. It's an idea. Oh. Almost forgot to change the camera. Favorite glue? I don't really have favorite glue, to be honest. I'm not a huge fan of glue. E6000 does work, but I have a lot of issues with E6000 also. How's the frame rate for this? Is the frame rate okay, or is it going down a lot? It looks kind of jittery on there. The wrong tubes. I'm not knowledgeable enough about tubes. Muzzbuzz, whatever your name is, it used to, or actually Moguls originally, said that it was a minus 2C. The other day it was minus 15C here, so it's really nice to be plus 15. Or no, we're minus 22, I believe. I'm not sure what it was. It was fucking cold. You know, it might be that I have not enough light, so it's lowering the brightness, lowering the frame rate, but I'm not sure. Forgot I'm using that plug-in to charge the laptop. Never mind. So that might be why the frame rate's going down. Hey. I'm going to do that one later. Has a bunch of weird little nails on it. Oh. Can't believe I missed that one. See you, YouTube junkie too. Finally, I will have time to go back on this. John comments, asked, looking back in hindsight, would you have designed the workshop any differently? No, actually. Because if there were any differences in designs, I change it. And so I've had to change the design quite a bit, but I think I've gotten the workshop that I really want, which is good. And Vedigan, do you still have the LED railroad lamp? I have 2 of them, and I have another one that I'm planning to electrify for Leonard French, your favorite copyright attorney. I plan to give him a nice LED lantern. Might better get a few more lights out. Would you guys like some more lights? Maybe I can get some more lights up. Let me see what I got. It's a little better, hopefully.